Well, hey everybody, welcome to the channel. I don't know what to tell you here. You may notice my voice is not exactly moving along with my lips here. As it turns out, I'm not sure what I did here, but a lot of the video footage I filmed over the holidays I was going to make like a Christmas video. It didn't have audio. And I think it might have something to do with the fact that, and albeit I'm new to this whole YouTube content creator and making video stuff, so I think it actually had something to do with the fact that I had my USB plugged in and into the van. So I'm not sure. The microphone just wasn't recording. I think it actually had to do with I was listening to the stereo when I was plugged in, or the stereo was at least turned on. And I think that cuts the microphone. It only allows you to record video. There's something going on there that I didn't understand. So there's like this whole bunch of footage that, as I'm sitting here editing, there's no talking. No talking. But to be perfectly honest with you, over the holidays, I don't know. I wanted to talk about some stuff about holidays. It certainly applies to me. And it has to do with my van life and why I van life, which I haven't made that video yet because I'm not sure how to talk about it. Well, I have the language and I can talk about it, but the problem I'm having right now is I'm at this part in my journey where I'm not sure how to talk about it without sounding like a victim of some of the things, reasons why I van life. So we're going to get into that next year. I'm trying to make this whole channel more about, my van life. If you've been watching up to this point, it's lots of travel videos. I was getting used to talking on camera, stuff like that. Yeah. So let's have the truth about my Christmas. The Christmas tea, as it were. I was actually really depressed this Christmas. It's a common thing with a lot of people. And if you were suffering for it this past season as it went by, I hope you made it through okay. I really do. I understand. It can be tough. It can be really tough. My experience anyways was that I got off Boxing Day morning from work. I was working night shifts, and that in itself doesn't help. But I'm usually depressed around Christmas. It's not necessarily the happiest time. Not that anything is really going wrong, just, I don't know. But you look up here on Google, I just did a search, the depression during the holidays. You can feel, depression during the holidays can feel like a combination of normal winter blues and something more serious. Some signs of depression during the holidays include, and I do definitely get seasonal mood disorder with the lack of light and stuff like that. But anyways, talks about, your mood, if you're feeling depressed, hopeless, worthless. Did you experience any of that? I know I did. I was definitely feeling depressed. I wasn't necessarily hopeless. Definitely not depression to the point where it's like suicidal or anything like that. Just, it goes on to say here, are you losing your interest in activities you enjoy? That was definitely me. I got to Saskatoon, you saw just previously in the driving video, and, oh man, I bet you I parked the van there outside of Walmart, and I don't think I left the van for 2 days straight. I went into Walmart to buy some supplies and stuff like that, and I did walk a half an hour each day to try and get some exercise, but I just couldn't. I don't know, just, like I say, did I lose interest in activities I used to enjoy? Definitely. I could have played my guitar, I could have played video games, could have read a book I'm working on right now, or working on, makes it sound like I'm writing it, but I'm just reading. I could have done any of those things, but ended up doing like 2 days of just a lot of sleeping, right? And it says, other symptoms here is energy. Are you feeling low and sluggish? That was definitely me. Sleep. Are you having trouble or oversleeping? I was sleeping a lot, and my schedule was messed up. It's generally hard for me to switch from night shifts back into a day shift mode, but this time I really struggled. And I think it had a lot to do with the depression, just being in the season. So my sleep schedule is all over the place. Like, I'd sleep for 4 hours, up for 4 or 5 or 6, and then, go to bed at 10 thinking, okay, I'm going to get a good night's sleep. That didn't work. I tried, I'd be up, I'd only sleep for 2-3 hours, then I was up again. I tried some melatonin. That didn't help, which, by the way, something I recently found out, and because I am a shift worker, I do use melatonin to try and adjust my sleep schedules. If you suffer from depression, melatonin can make it worse. It's a side effect of it. So definitely be careful with that. And, this is all just my personal experiences with this, my mental state of depression. And don't take it as treatment or suggestions on how you should handle yours. It's just the things that worked for me. And maybe they resonate. Maybe you'd try them out. It says here, did you have intrusive thoughts of self-harm or suicide? I definitely didn't, but I know I was depressed, definitely. Behavior, withdrawing from others, behaving erratically or impulsively, or becoming more irritable. I definitely did the withdrawal. Like I said, I spent 2 days, barely left the van. And I mean, that doesn't help. Like, the whole point about living in a tiny space like this is to not be in it, right? It's just a place to sleep and to eat, to get out of the weather, and then I'm supposed to be out doing other things. Oh yeah, and then it says here, physical symptoms. You could be experiencing unexplained physical problems like back pain. I'm going to tell you, there's about 3 or 4 days there after getting off night shift, and yeah, just pain. All my joints. Like, I've got arthritis. Like, I'm 51 years old. Didn't really take care of myself in those 51 years either. But yeah, this was beyond the normal arthritis pain. This is other factors that contribute to feeling depressed during the holidays include feeling bored or lonely, not wanting people to visit, feel like you're missing out on your usual Christmas, and not feeling well physically. Well, I definitely didn't feel well physically. The whole missing out on my usual Christmas, to tell you honestly, as you'll see, my kids, there's 2 girls from my first relationship and 3 my boys from the second big relationship. And when I was in that second big relationship, I was in that relationship with their mother for 10 years, and we raised the boys in their father's faith, which is Jehovah's Witness, because it helped. Just because. Flo, the boy's mother, spent a lot of time, obviously, as Jehovah's Witness, raising the kids with her husband. And so I did 10 years. We didn't celebrate Christmas. We didn't decorate. There's a video just a little while ago, 15 years since I did that, and it's all about decorating. It's probably been about 15 years since I even decorated for Christmas. So definitely out of the ordinary for Christmas, but yeah, not wanting people to visit. I think a lot of my problem is under that. I'm not going to get too deeply into that, but we're just going to put it to say that I don't have a very solid relationship with my family. It is what it is. Like I say, I don't know how to talk about it without sounding like a victim, and I don't want that victim mentality, because you're not going to get better if you stay stuck in a victim mentality. And so I'm trying to figure that out right at this point in my life, and how not to be a victim of these things. But says if you're feeling depressed during the holidays, things you can try. Says you can connect with people you love and accept. So you're going to see in the video here, I rounded up as many of my kids as we could together, and we all went out for dinner. One thing I didn't film was that my youngest daughter has a new boyfriend. So, we went out and had lunch with him. And that's awesome. He seems like a really good guy. I just, like any father, hope he is as good a guy as he is presenting himself to be, right? You always want your daughter to be somebody that treats them well and nice. Scheduling time for self-care, journaling, or talk to someone you trust. Well, actually, I also did that. Part of my trip, you're going to see, is I went and visited a friend on her, my friend Jen. She lives on how do you say it? Oh, off-grid. She lives off-grid on a little acreage. She raises rabbits, chickens, pigs. She had llamas for a while. Yeah. Similar lifestyles. Like, I mean, I'm not exactly off-grid, but, there's similarities between that. So I did go see her. I've known her since high school. That's a long time, 30 years. So definitely I went and saw somebody that that's just a good friendship, right? Somebody I can talk to, communicate with. Taking care of your body, if you're feeling depressed, some things you can do. Again, taking care of your body by eating healthily, drinking plenty of water, and getting enough sleep. Definitely wasn't doing that. I don't know how, if you experience depression, if it comes across this way. One of the ways I know I'm depressed, and this is actually kind of funny because it's a thing in my family, junk food. If you're, say, feeling stressed or mentally, like we Allens, yeah, we run out and buy a whole bunch of junk food, and we sit down and watch a movie, and it's just like, well, anyways, that's the way it was. I spent 2 days not eating properly, definitely not sleeping well, wasn't drinking enough water. But the other things it says you can do is making a list of priorities and focusing on those. That's one thing I do like about having the YouTube channel. Easy. It's a way of keeping me, say, present in my life, thinking about how it's going to progress, I guess, the things I'm going to do. And it kind of motivates me to go do things like travel. Because we want to make good content for our YouTube channel. Making a list of priorities, focusing on those. I did end up actually forcing myself to play some guitar, which always makes me feel better. I don't know why when you get depressed, you just don't want to. And then just asking for help. And like I said, I went and talked to my friend, as you're going to see in the video. So, yeah, there's a whole bunch that I had filmed here and it was me talking, driving around in the van in Saskatoon. It didn't work out, but let's go back in time, because this is actually editing time. We'll go jump right back into the video, and I drove over, because, well, one of the things I didn't mention, because we were just talking about depression and seasonal mood disorder, is that coming in to Saskatoon, I ran into freezing rain, and yeah, like the whole van was just covered in it. There was ice frozen everywhere. So first thing we did was we went to Wash World to wash up the van. So let's jump in there and see how the rest of my day turned out. See all the things I did to get myself out of this funky depression. It's a whole week later, so I can tell you in the end it worked out. You know, if you suffer from depression regularly, I think me personally, one of the best things I did was learn to recognize the symptoms and learn to think about it, because when it starts to come in, the depression, you start to feeling depressed, you don't recognize it. It's not like somebody flipped a switch and all of a sudden you turned into Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh, right? That, to me, that was always seemed like a depressed character. Also the one I kind of identified with in those stories, but you don't always recognize it. So that's something I've definitely been working on, learning to recognize it in myself. And the rest of this video is just the things I did to handle that depression, that seasonal depression. I think it was definitely made worse because I was coming off of night shifts. But so anyways, like I said, let's head off. Let's wash the van. We'll jump into my day there, wash the van, and see a couple of other things I did for the rest of the day. Oh man, she cleans up so nice. Such a pretty van. Pretty van. So, next on today's list of how to beat the Christmas depression, guitars. I am definitely connected with music, love playing guitar. Let's check out Long and McQuaid. Well, there. We'll see if that fixes the trailer problem. After I got out of the wash bay, out of Wash World or whatever, it was really saying that there's a trailer. It kept, because every time you turn on the turn signals, it's like, oh, there's no trailer. There's something wrong with the trailer lights. Blah blah blah. Keep giving all these warnings. So I definitely think it's water in the connector, and WD-40 displaces water, displaces moisture. So hopefully that helps. Well, we ended up buying a guitar pedal. It's an octave pedal. It's gonna add some bass sounds to my guitar playing. I don't know, it's a guitar thing anyway. All right, so that was a $200 trip to Long and McQuaid. That's all right. Gotta get myself a Christmas present. I think it's allowed. So the girls and I are, I don't know, not arguing. We're just having trouble deciding where to go to eat tonight. I think it's going to end up being the default Montana's because nobody can decide, and I'm just going to call it here right away so that we all know where we're going. But we got a couple hours to kill before then, so I think I'm just going to hit up Walmart over in the Preston Crossing area. And I've got to pick up a Christmas card for Alex's girlfriend, Cadence. Going through all the Christmas cards this morning, getting ready. I realized I forgot to get her one. So we're going to go do that right now. Well, it's still looking all nice and shiny. Yay for Boston pizza.
Ba-da-da.
Ba-da-da.
Ma-ma-ma-na-ma-na. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da.
Ta-da. Now this right here is how I kick my depression's ass, 100%. These are 3 of my kids. There's 2 missing. Dustin and Dylan couldn't make it. In an order of appearance, here is Alex. Of course, that's me in the corner. Coming up right away is Katrina. Sitting next to Katrina is Cadence, Alex's girlfriend. and she's awesome. She's such a little sweetheart. And then you'll just see the arm, but that's my oldest daughter, Corey. She's not interested in being in my videos. She's just doesn't like getting her picture taken, I guess. I'm not sure. I didn't really ask. I don't question it. She doesn't want it, so that's fine. But I gotta tell you, right at the start of COVID, these kids saw me absolutely destroyed. There's some events that happened, and I had nobody to turn to. I turned to my family. They weren't there for me, and that's part of the reason I have a problem with them. But these kids, they didn't even question it. They just picked up the reins, and they helped me through in ways that I couldn't even have asked. I don't know how to say that, but they are amazing. I felt really bad because, you know, you kind of just grew up thinking that your parents are superheroes, or they know everything and they can solve everything and they're rocks, and I felt bad that they saw me like that. But not once did they ever make me feel judged, or did they ever step away from being there for me. I'm going to start tearing up if I keep talking about this. But that was Christmas. Now we're on to New Year's. This is how I spent my New Year's. I went to my friend Jen's farm. I mentioned that earlier. I've known Jen for a long time. We've been friends since high school. And just recently, as in I think the last 5-6 years, she started living on this off-grid acreage, and it's such a relaxing, peaceful place. There's no electronics, there's barely internet, and she's just a really good friend and somebody I can talk to and feel just, you know, be 100% me, and it's awesome. She's very accepting. She's an awesome person. I'm not going to show you too much about, I'm not going to show you any of the visit actually, other than this little clip where you're going to see her farm. I hope that this summer she will let me give you guys a tour and sit down and tell us some of her stories. She's got some amazing stories of some of the hardships she's encountered in the prairies of Saskatchewan. Just doing it all on her own, including building her own tiny home. I think it's a great story, and hopefully she'll share it with us. But anyways, guys, I'm going to leave it here. Sorry I'm late getting the videos out. Like I said, I had some problems. I wasn't quite sure how to make a video of what I had left over from some mistakes I made, but we got through it. And if you stuck around, thank you to you guys. I'm just going to say, hopefully everybody is having a great New Year, had an awesome Christmas, and till next time, guys, just stay safe, and we'll catch you later.